Hi guys, so I decided to make a video and hopefully this will help explain how to graph sine and cosine functions. So first, if you look at the example, if you're following along on the PowerPoint, if we have the example y equals 3 sine of 5 theta, I want you to first think about your basic sine graph. So on the PowerPoint, if you look at this, my basic sine graph without any transformations looks like this. So as you notice, I want you to think about sine graphs. So you start with your intercept, you have your maximum point, another intercept, and your minimum point. So that is without any reflections or phase changes. So from there, sorry guys, my cat is walking on me, but so from there, first we can find what our amplitude is. So if we look at our basic function, so y equals a sine of b times theta, so your amplitude is always that a value, and it's always the absolute value of that. So our amplitude here is 3, and then our period, if we look at that, it's that b value with our theta. So our period is always going to be the absolute value as well. So I'm saying my period is 5. So what we do is think about our degrees of our unit circle. So we say 360 divided by the absolute value of b, or the absolute value of 5, which gives me 72. So that's telling me that my one full cycle has a period of 72 degrees. So from here, I want to break it up to be into 4 segments. So this means they are all the same distance apart. So if I take my period, which is 72, and divide it by 4, I get segments of 18. So on my sine graph, comparing this to my basic sine graph with no transformations, I am going to break this up to have 4 different segments going by 18. So here the graph, I go from 18 to 36 to 54 to 72. So knowing my sine graph starts with your intercept, I'm going to start my first point here. And I know that my amplitude is 3. So my highest, so going here from 0 to 3, that's my amplitude, and same going down. So I can use these red lines to create where my amplitude is going to be for your maximum and your minimum. So my first point is my intercept, and then I know my sine graph, I have a maximum. So at 18, I go up here and draw my point. Then I go next, I have my intercept, and so I go down to 36. After that, you have a minimum, so you go down to 54. And then you can go back up to your intercept, which would be 72. So you can keep that pattern going, and it will be the same. You can just extend your graph. So this is for your basic sine graph. We will add in later the phase shift and vertical shift, but for now we're just dealing with the amplitude and period.